I was wondering if y'all knew anything about this property here and why it's so overgrown. The back is horrible. Yeah, so I've been trying to just get a little bit of information on it. I guess they left me to do the backyard. I'm gonna work on it today, but I just like to introduce myself to neighbors before I start working on stuff. But that's pretty good thing, man. Nobody gonna bother you. Everybody wants to know that. Right. My name is AP, so I just want to introduce myself. I can't afford it. You build it up? Yeah, I'm building it up.
What's the name of your channel?
Sir?
What's the name of your channel?
Clean the City.
Oh my God!
I had stability. Stupid Peggy let it all go 2 years ago. But I'm getting back on my feet.
It's okay. That's what life is about. Life is about just, you know, not stand down, getting up and continue to work. Like, nobody's perfect.
Right.
I go through such rough times. That's why I keep it real with y'all on the channel and stay transparent. Like, I'm just like y'all. I go through very hard times in life, whether that's financial or like people dying in my life. Like, so it's very tough, but you have to remain positive and keep going because tomorrow is another day.
Right. And today's the only day we got.
And it's the only thing we have until tomorrow, right?
All right, sweetie, you take care.
I love you.
Take care.
Have a good day, okay?
How y'all doing? I was wondering if y'all knew anything about this property here and why it's so overgrown. I mean, like, are they selling it or anything? I have a non-profit where I actually cut overgrown yards in the city. The back is horrible. Yeah, so I've been trying to just get a little bit of information on it. I'm gonna work on it today, but I just like to introduce myself to neighbors before I start working on stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody been doing that.
Oh, it must be my friend. Did y'all notice him over here? Okay.
Skinny guy and another guy.
Okay, well, it's a public nuisance sign out there. I'm surprised they didn't do the backyard. I really don't know if, did you see them filming? My best friend would have did the backyard too. That's kind of surprising. I guess they left me to do the backyard. My name is AP, so I just want to introduce myself. I can't afford a zero turn right now.
Okay, you build it up?
Yeah, I'm building it up. Yeah.
I watched that on YouTube. Well, that's pretty cool. You help people that need it. Or you come by here every couple weeks to do that. Well, that's for sure.
Well, it's gonna just grow and back.
The fence, man, when he came. Maybe that's why.
Oh, the front yard was? It was pretty tall, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Man. That's cool. You do your thing, man. Nobody's gonna bother you. Everybody wants it done. It looks like a
right. I mean,
the house itself, pretty bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's trees growing through the roof and everything.
Yeah,
so.
that thing's been empty for a long time, man.
Yeah, it looked like it.
They got like $500,000 violations on that thing.
If you had any questions.
Oh, enjoy, man. Build it up.
All right, y'all have a good rest of your weekend. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Clean the City channel, brought to you by Blades Uncut Media. So we are back at the home that I started working on last week. If y'all are late to the channel, make sure that you go back and watch that video because we're starting a crazy backyard on this one. And I'm sure y'all are wondering, well, why are you starting in the backyard? What happened with this front yard? Well, guess what, y'all? Y'all remember the last video when we came here and the neighbor on the opposite end of the street was outside, so I approached him too. And he was telling me that he saw somebody out here cutting the yard and filming it. I wasn't sure if that was Al though. And the more I talked to him, I told him I was a YouTuber, and he told me, he said, I think he was filming. I said, was that Al? I had no idea until I released the video. Al reached out to me and told me that this is the yard that he was going to release a day after the one I released. It ended up being a collab without us trying to make it a collab. I just randomly chose this one. I usually work in this side of town. How you doing, sir? Good morning, man. It's deemed a public nuisance. The neighbor has said this yard has been overgrown like this for a long time. Neighbors are fed up with it. Neighbors don't like to see it. He said they might end up demolishing it. I don't really know. It could be brought back to life, but the more they wait to do it, the more nature is going to reclaim it and just tear it down on its own. We ain't going to spend too much time here, but we're gonna make sure we get a really good backyard transformation. Make sure that y'all like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank you for being here, and let's go ahead and get down to work. Ooh. Whew, there goes the rain, y'all. I knew it was coming. Dang it. There goes the rain.
Whew. All right, y'all. That's another one in the books. It's not that much of a beauty, but we got the job done. This is no longer a public nuisance since Al did the front and I did the back. I hope y'all enjoyed this premiere. Once again, there's no job too big or too small for the cleaning crew. We're gonna get out here and get it done. And I'm really wondering what's going on with this property. I looked into this property. There was a gentleman by the name of Denny that used to live here, Mr. Denny. Loved fishing, loved gardening. That's why y'all saw a lot of different plants and trees in this yard. He loved being outside, working in the yard. He passed away 2021. So I believe this property has been this way ever since 2021. That's why it's so bad. It's been 4 years since it's been overgrown. I know this is his place because I found fishing poles, I found all type of cool stuff. And some may call this man a hoarder. Some may just say, you know, he liked to collect cool stuff, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. It hurts my heart to see a home like this when I knew there was once upon a time where people lived here and they loved each other here and had a great life here. So nature has started to reclaim this home. I hope somebody can get it in enough time to save it and bring it back to life. But who knows? It was just fun to do this one because once again, we didn't know that Kevin did this one a year ago, just the front yard, and we didn't know that Al did this one about 2 weeks ago, the front yard. So another yard done to protect the neighborhood. The neighbors on both sides don't have to worry about rodents coming from this yard into their yard anymore. And hopefully the homeowner finds out what's going on and comes over here and takes care of this home, man. Enjoy your things while you're here because once you leave this earth, you can't take nothing with you. I'm happy with the results. Once again, it's not the most beautiful transformation you've ever seen, but it's a very, very big transformation from before and after, all right? And we just came here to really just get this grass down. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. It really means a lot to me. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. Until next time, y'all continue to be the difference. Continue to erase the stereotype. If you were judged today, yesterday, or if you're going to be judged in the future, always remember that nobody's opinions define who you are. Your actions define who you are, all right? Let's get into this reveal. Cut it up.
What's the name of your channel?
Sir,
What's the name of your channel?
clean the city.